Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Michi Makes Up. In today's video, I am going to do some PR unboxing and try a full face of this new makeup brand that I just received. It's called Florasis. If you follow me on TikTok or Instagram, you would have saw some of these swatches that I've done on their eye and face palette, but they've actually sent me a number of items to try. So I'm really excited. I want to do some quick unboxings. I have the face and eye palette, which I've already opened and played around with a little bit, but I just want to take a look, or have you guys take a closer look, of just the amazing embossing on this palette. They've been around for a couple of years, and I'm sure you've seen some of the Instagram ads that they have run, and it's just the most beautiful packaging, the most beautiful embossing that you just can't take your eyes off of. And I will say, for somebody who has a collector's heart, it is difficult for me to kind of go into this, but we will use this to create a look nonetheless. And first impression with swatches, very pigmented, very beautiful, so I do have high hopes for this. Here's a quick look at the box for the eye and face palette. They also sent over the tracing eyebrow pencil, which I've taken out to look at and just quickly draw, but I have not actually used to fill out my brows. And you have here the actual brow product, and that you place into the pen. On the other side is a spoolie, so this looks really convenient here. They've also sent over their Twin Lotus Relief Luminous Glow Highlighter in 02 Amber Glow. So let me unbox that. That's beautiful. That 3D luminescent effect. It's almost like, you know, a reflection of water, but with a prismatic hue to it. And oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. We have the lotus embossing. Wow. Beautiful. I'm gonna say this is gonna be rose gold tone, maybe a bit more pink leaning. Then we also have the Gorgeous Peach Blossom Powder. This is an interesting contraption. You have the puff that we just saw, but when you close this compact, you actually turn. You press down and turn to close it, to lock it into place. So I didn't do a very good demonstration. Let me try again. So you hold on to this, you turn to open, and then you do that in reverse to lock it. But this is beautiful as well. Then we have the Blurring Pressed Powder. It's got quite a few powdered products. We'll try our best to use all of them today. And they all have this beautiful plastic cover to protect the top of the compact. And this is a textured, you can hear that, has like a velvety touch that's textured and has the slightest luminescent reflection. It reminds me of a seashell, honestly, except for the soft, puffy texture. So this one here, in terms of opening, looks like it's magnetic, and you just really flip open like that. I think the powder might be a little bit light for my skin tone this time of the year, but that's okay. We're still going to test it. And then the second to last piece that I have here is going to be the Balancing Fitting Liquid Foundation. I'm quite excited for this. It's been some time since I've tried a new foundation. Wow. This is, I would say, perhaps the crown jewel of all of the products we've looked at so far. Beautiful glass bottle, and has this nice, very ornate hardware over the bottle. And it is a pump contraption here. So let's see, this foundation, I guess the number is Z25, and I couldn't remember if I actually asked for this, as in like this tone, or it was just decided for me, but either way, we're gonna try it out. So, okay, we have one more item left, and then let's get into some swatching and demo. The last item is their Sonia G tracing eyeliner. So this is a liquid eyeliner, and I do love, in terms of just packaging, being that this is a luxury brand from China, is just how consistent the color theme across all of the products. I realize this is a different color from these, you know, other compacts here, but I feel like we're getting a very consistent, luxurious feel. So let me go ahead and actually start with the brows, and then we'll move into swatches. So this was the brow pencil we looked at earlier. It has a very, very thin point. So I will say here, oops, I broke off a little bit of it. It's just very, very thin, which tells me it's going to be great for drawing those individual hairs. And this is what it looks like on the back of my hand. So I'm going to go in here to just fill in the brows ever so lightly. And as I imagined, it is really great at drawing what looks to be individual brows, and as you kind of build on that and add more strokes, it does work to fill in the brow. So you can see and then I'll go ahead and just wipe this part off here. I think we went a little bit far. And then we'll move on to the other side. And then I'm going to take the spoolie on the other side to even things out. Any lines that might look too kind of harsh or obvious. I just want to blend it in with the hairs. So I've got a nice and soft brow look, but I think it did a fine job in filling the shape in. I would say in terms of shade, it does match my natural hair color, which you see here. I've also let my silvers kind of come through. I'm just trying something a little bit different here. But I feel like it matches my natural color. If I wanted to match the color portion of my hair, I'd be looking for something that's a little bit lighter and definitely more brown leaning. Going into the gorgeous Iron Face palette, I will swatch each of these for you. I'm going to begin with the two highlighters on each side. We have this really bright, beautiful shade, followed by this more pink tone. Then we'll begin with these three eyeshadows, and then finally we'll move on to the rest with this big center shade as the last. So we have the three eyeshadow shades from this side, and then the last three from the opposite side here. So basically we have three matte shades and three metallics. The metallics are absolutely just gorgeous. They look like they can swatch on for a really long time. And then really good amount of pigment. So, so far I think just like my first impressions when I swatched these for Instagram and TikTok, I think they look great. Let me go into this final shade here, which I also, because it's the center of the palette, I'm hoping it's gonna work beautifully as a cheek color. So while the red can look really maybe intimidating if you're not into this type of shade for cheeks, it actually swatches quite soft. Pigmented but soft. I think it's definitely, it was formulated for the cheeks, and it's not quite as dense in pigment as these eyeshadow shades. For the foundation, I do want to quickly just show you the color. I hope it's not going to be too light. It does look quite light, but it looks like I would do well with it in the fall and winter. And actually it does not have a floral scent. I'm not sure why I thought that initially. It more has like a foundation scent, like you can smell the ingredients, and it's not really a fragrance. So that is, looks really smooth, looks really nice. We're gonna put that on the face. And we have the blurring pressed powder, which can go on top of the foundation. But today I might just try the loose powder that has like a pink tone to it. Definitely feels like it has set the makeup or the foundation. So, okay, well, let's get on to creating a look. So I'm going to first begin with just off camera applying some eye primer, concealer for the under eye areas, just anywhere with redness, and then I'll get into applying the foundation, setting it, which you'll see those steps in detail. Apply the foundation, and it is a kind of conservative first layer, but I find that it's actually a good match for my skin tone. I'm quite surprised. It is a touch light for this time of the year, but I could still, you know, if I had no other foundation, I would be happy to put this on knowing that it's a fairly decent match, and I know for sure it would be a good match in the fall and winter time. So this is with the first layer. I'm actually gonna go back in with a second layer to test how buildable this is. The foundation is definitely buildable with a second layer, and notably I do feel like it does give a bit of a radiant glow, and that's the finish. So now I'm going to go in to set the foundation using the Peach Blossom powder right here. Now taking that Iron Face palette, which I actually hadn't said its full name on camera here, is the Floral Engraving Phoenix Makeup Palette. I'm going to go into this shade here and place it generously all over the lids. Then I'm taking this shade here. This is also a matte shade, and I'm just placing that above the lash line and into the middle of the lid. I'm going to take this shade here and I'm placing that above the lash line. And just so we can try out as many shades as possible, I'm actually taking this red metallic shade and putting it, a little of it, onto the bottom or lower lash line, just probably right up until here or so. And then for the inner corner, I'm taking this shade just use it in a very classic way to brighten things up. For highlighter on one side of the cheek, we're going to use the shade here from the palette, but I'd also on the other side like to use the highlighter we have from the other compact. Wipe this off, and then, oh, this is just gorgeous. Whew. I'm not going to go in the middle. I'm just going to take lightly to the bottom. And then what I haven't done actually is swatch this highlighter for you, so let me do that quickly. Place a swatch right here above the other two shades that can be used as highlighter from the Engraving Phoenix palette. And I would say this here is has a more 3D effect. There is some sparkly or sparkles to its finish, and it has like a pearlescent sheen to it. Whereas this shade here, which I have on the right side of my cheek, is more of just a metallic, and it's simpler in that way. It's beautiful, but a little bit simpler. This has it's a bit more dynamic, especially as light reflects on it. So I think this is absolutely gorgeous. The embossing is gorgeous, and it also looks really beautiful. I also like this side though. So I think it just depends on your mood. Before I put mascara on and also find a lip color to wrap up on this look, I'm actually going to use this liquid eyeliner to do a quick cat eye. All right, I do have mascara on, but I realized that we never put any blush on. How could we miss this center shade here? So we're going to do that now. I'm going to, because the shade is from the swatch is pretty light, I'm going to go in with a denser brush here. Let me just wipe that off. But this is Rephr's 04. And we're going to give that beautiful red a try, and so far I'm really liking that. It is a good match with the rest of the palette, that's for sure. And for lips, I'm taking Victoria Beckham's the Posh gloss here in the shade Picante. And that's it, no base color. I really liked how the eyes turned out, and I think with the blush, it's really like this is centerpiece of the look. So I'm keeping the lips nice and light. This is the finished look, and I want to come a little bit closer. I really liked how everything turned out. With the eyes, I am really pleased that by using and trying out the liquid eyeliner, I did a wing out or cat eye, and I think it's just exactly what the look needed to tie everything in, bring some drama, and then I decided to go light on the lips just to make the eyes and cheeks pop in this look. I also really like the color story of this palette. If you are interested in this or have been from ads and other content creators who've demoed this, I would say this red shade is something you want to think about because it gives you a certain look if you do use it on the cheeks. It just gives you a certain look, and I would say the aesthetic is as the inspiration behind the company's makeup and the story behind the actual collection itself is based on Chinese, ancient China, kind of traditional makeup style, and you see it reflected in here, which I think is beautiful, but that's something to think about. The metallic shades, again, swatch beautifully, and I think in terms of performance, everything worked beautifully. The foundation was a very pleasant surprise. Again, stunning packaging. I did say that this was hardware, but it's actually plastic, so I didn't want to mislead anybody. It is a very ornate piece of plastic that's been placed, I guess secured right here to give this bottle a very extra look, and it's gorgeous. I am of light to medium skin tone, on the lighter side during fall, winter, and definitely towards more medium, warmer tones during the summer, but this Z25 is actually a really great match for me. The setting powder here, the Peach Blossom, really set the makeup beautifully, and I do like that it didn't give me much of a white cast that I notice. So that's really important because, once again, foundation is a touch light, so the last thing I need is just a white cast on top of that. I found that the powder easy to work with. We didn't get to test the blurring pressed powder, which I would love to at a different time. And also, oh, the gorgeous Twin Lotus Relief Luminous Highlighter. I could look at this for a long time. Just mesmerizing. A lot of the makeup and powders, the highlighter, they do have also skincare infused in them. This is something that I couldn't tell you the effects and how it works in just the single video, but as I use these products, I hope to come back with an update. If you have any questions, please let me know below. Packaging lives up to expectations, everything I have seen online, and certainly the amount of details put into the product, it's very consistent. So I'm so far really impressed with the brand, and I want to thank Florasis for sending me all of these products to try. That's very, very generous and kind of you. So I hope to come back with more about this brand in later videos. Thank you guys for watching. I hope everything has been going well with you, and I will see you again hopefully soon. Bye.